In this video, I'm going to show you a 5-step process to create your own AI agents. Starting with step 1, you need to install a library called Agentstack. We need to type pip install Agentstack in our terminal, and whenever that is done installing, we can create our first project. So we're going to type in Agentstack, init for initialize, and then just the name of your project, which this one will be Web Scraper. Okay, and then we're on the screen on the terminal where it says Agentstack project generated successfully. So on the left-hand side in the project pane, you can see Web Scraper, the crew, the main Python file, and any custom tools that we'll be adding in here. It went ahead and updated all the dependencies that are needed for this project. And now we're ready for the second step of this 5-step process, which is adding the agents and the tasks. So like I mentioned, if you can see here in our crew, we have no agents and no tasks. So I'm going to keep this open so you can see how they're dynamically added from the terminal. All we type in is Agentstack, generate. Then we want to generate an agent first. So we're going to say agent, and then we just need the name of the agent. So I'm going to call it Web Scraper. And then what this is going to do is going to update the code to, well, after we pick the model we want to use. So OpenAI GPT-4o. Awesome. And then you see it dynamically created the agent right here for Web Scraper. And if we go into the agent's YAML file, it also created the Web Scraper here. We'll get into filling out the prompting later for the YAML files. But now we don't have a task for it yet. So if we go back to our crew, we do need a task. So let's go ahead and clear this. So to create the task, we're going to say Agentstack generate task, and then just the name of the task. So this one can be Web Scraper task. And it's going to also in here dynamically add the task, as you can see. And then if we go to our task.yaml file, we now have a Web Scraper task. We'll just have to build this in here soon. Okay, now I'm not quite done. I do want to add one more agent and task, probably to like a summary agent and a summary task. So let's go ahead and do that. We already know how to do this, right? So Agentstack generate agent summarizer. And then it's going to go ahead and generate the agent for us. Okay, awesome. And now we need to generate the task for it. So we're going to say Agentstack generate task summarizer task. And I spelled that wrong. So let's go back and fix this. Agentstack generate task summarizer. Awesome. So now we have two agents, the summarizer, the Web Scraper task, and the summarizer task. Now, if we go to our agents here, we have Web Scraper summarizer, and then in the task, we also have the Web Scraper and the summarizer task. Awesome. We were able to quickly create our agents. Now, the only thing with the agents here is I would prefer the Web Scraper to be before the summarizer. That's okay. Okay, awesome. We now have all the agents and all the tasks that we need for this project. Now, if you're interested in creating more AI agents and learning how to create them, I am here to help you. Join my school community down in the description below, and I will show you everything that you need to know to create AI agents and automate things in your life. And this is going to lead into the third step, which is adding the tools for this project. And I had mentioned that I want to use a Web Scraper, so we're going to use Firecrawl for this example. So back in the terminal, you're going to type in Agentstack, then you're going to Agentstack, then we're going to type in tools, add, and then I'm going to type in the name of it. I'm going to type in Firecrawl. So if I don't have Firecrawl, it's going to go ahead and install the dependency for me. Now, they don't have every single tool out there already like pre-configured to add into your agents. They're constantly working on that, and it's being updated now, but they already have some like Firecrawl pre-configured. Okay, so now with it done, it updated my Firecrawl package. I need to create an API key by going to this website. And if you look in the tools, we go to the project pane. Now in the tools folder, there is a new Firecrawl tool. It's already trying to get the key from our environment variable. So we need to add the environment variable, but it comes with a web scrape function, a web crawl function, and then with the retrieve web crawl function as well. So it kind of already has these pre-configured tools for us to use. So if you haven't already, we need to go ahead and create a Firecrawl API key. So go ahead and sign in if you haven't already. It's free. I have not paid for anything yet. You have so many, like crawls or scrapes that you can use. So I'm going to go to my dashboard because I'm already signed in. As you can see, I've used 283. I've used this quite a bit. I'm going to go to my API keys on the left-hand side here. I am going to copy this, and then back in what will be your .env.example file, you will put in your file call API key here. You need to put in your open API key here, and then I'm also going to show you how to put in your agent ops API key here in just a minute. And what's nice about this, if we go back to our crew.py file over here, it already imports tools, right? And because of the init file, we can come into a web scraper agent, and we want to tell it the tools that we would like it to use. So we can say tools dot, and then we have the retrieve web crawl, and web scrape. So we're going to put in the web scrape, and we're also going to give it the web crawl functions. So we're going to give them we're going to give this agent these tools to use. Now, again, because this was FileCrawl is already added as part of Agentstack, I don't actually need to write any code for it. And this is what they're constantly updating, or they're adding more tools to this, and also community-driven tools as well. Before we get on to step 4, we are almost done creating our whole project in just 5 easy steps. We do need to create an agent ops key. So if you haven't, go to agentops.ai. Click the start for free purple button right in the center. Then you can see I already have projects that I've started, but if you click the plus button here, we're going to rename this new project, and this was web scraper project. So I'm going to create the project after I select an organization. So I'm going to create the project, API key copied, perfect. Then I'm going to go back, you would go back to your .env.example, put that here, and then once you're you would actually put this in the .env file that you can see here. It's just, I'm not going to show you all of my keys, but you would put that in your .env file, and then we are ready to go. And now we're ready for step 4, which is just filling in all of the prompts. Now, if we go back to our task and our agents.yaml file, we have everything set up. We just need to actually give it the prompts. So in our web scraper, in a summarizer agent, and the same thing for the task, I'm going to go ahead and fill these in, and I'll be back. Okay, so I kept this relatively simple for this use case, but for the web scraper, you are web scraper, give an URL, scrape the page, return the markdown. Same thing for summarizer. These are just basic prompts for this example. But go ahead and fill this in when you get this on my GitHub. You can fill this in and do whatever you would like. The same thing for the task. On the web scraper, basically return the markdown of the page, and the summarizer to give the summary, key points, and takeaways of the text. We don't have to do this, but I want to show you just so you understand agent ops a little bit more, and so that we can see a little bit better output when we go to view the web page for this. So at the top, I want you to say from agent ops.enums import, and then this would be end state. Okay, so then here in agent ops initialize, we're going to say session is equal to agent ops.initialize, and we're going to give this the API key, and then this will fill in the os.getEnvironment variable, which we already have, which means we need to import os. And then now with the session created, right after this run is over, I want to say session.endSession endstate.success, because I'm assuming this is going to be correct. What you would typically do is get the results here, right? You have some way to get the results, and then you want to say the end station. If it's successful, say that. If not, then say it failed. And then when we go to look at the web page for what can we see to observe what happened in the background, why it failed, it will tell us. And now we are on the last step, which is to just simply run Agentstack. This is simple. All you have to do is type Agentstack and then run in your terminal, and let's see what happens. Okay, it ran, it was successful, and you can tell that your agent's key worked when it gives you a session replay in the beginning. So the first thing it is, we have a web scraper. It's going to web scrape. I didn't give it a URL. I just, this is just an example, right? So it's going to come up with one for me, and JSON placeholder is an actual website. So it went through here. It went ahead and used the tool web scrape. So it took all the markdown, because I said I wanted it in markdown. So it returned everything in markdown. And then after that's over with, then it went to the agent for writing summaries. So the final answer is a summary of that website. We see it took 32.2 seconds. The cost was almost 2 cents. It used 3 LLM calls, and there was 1 tool used. Now I know this says invalid end state, but it was actually fine. But if we go to this session replay, just open this up. This is going to take us directly to to all the output that we can see with this. Okay, so as you can see, 2 cents, duration was 32 seconds. It gives you all the versions and things about your local computer. So in the session replay, everything in this like purplish blue was an LLM call. Yellow was a tool. You can see here the tool was web scrape. Then you can come in here and you see a drill down of how much everything cost. Right, so this LLM call was actually this one LLM call was probably the majority of it, right? It was just over one cent. And then you can go to the chat viewer, and this is the whole chat that you can. This is so much nicer to look at than whenever you're viewing it in your terminal, right? So you can view all of that here, and you basically get all of the information that you need about what you just ran here in agentops.ai. Now, if you're interested in more AI agents, AI agent frameworks, and learning about automation, join my school community where I'll teach you everything that you need to know. Here is my master course on Crew AI. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video.